Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be setting up my sinking funds and transaction log spreads, as well as I'm going to be stuffing my sinking funds cash envelopes as I typically do every single month. I feel like this gets sort of repetitive a little bit, at least to me, but I know that it gets you guys kind of pumped. And I don't know what it is about cash envelope stuffings, but you guys really seem to enjoy this video in particular. So here I am once again to stuff all of my cash envelopes as well as to set up these spreads. So I have here my sinking funds and transaction log sticker kit from my shop Romina Rosa. I also have like some leftover washi that I'm going to be using for the next video, and this is the new washi I'll be using for this spread. So I'm going to be, I think, all around just using my Lucky Charms washi print, and typically I will set up my sinking funds and transaction log spread not right after my budget, which I just filmed this video, by the way, so this should already be up on my channel, so make sure you check my March budget setup video. So not after this one, because I typically set up my weekly check-in pages here, but after those two. So I'm going to go ahead and just white all of this out. Since my budgeting kits all are printed on matte removable sticker paper. Paper sometimes does tend to show a bit of the writing that's underneath, so I just like to white it out so that way nothing shows through. I mean, the paper is not that thin, but I don't know, I just like to do it. And I've mentioned before that it's kind of therapeutic to white out things, so that's also why. So I have my sinking fund script. I don't think I added, no, I didn't add any new sinking funds this month. And I'm, for the most part, going to be going off of what I budgeted in the beginning of the year for 2021. Some might be like a few dollars off, just because I want to make sure to stuff some sinking funds more than others this month. And I don't know why this is kind of bothering me. And it never typically does, but I'm going to switch the sinking fund script a little bit to the left. So this is the beauty with matte removable stickers, that you can just remove them if, let's say, they didn't go down as you would want them to. That's the main reason why I love matte removable sticker paper for these types of kits. If you guys are not new to my channel, you guys already know what sinking funds I have, which are essentially just small savings for specific categories. And so one of my main ones that I'm going to be stuffing this month is going to be my adventures. And this is just for like smaller trips, road trips, or even if I'm going to be renting like an Airbnb and having like a staycation type of thing. That's kind of what our ventures are for. So I am beginning with $257 here, and I will be adding $200 this month, just because I will be going, I think I mentioned this in my monthly budget video, but I will be going on a small trip to San Diego this month, and I want to make sure that I'm covered with Airbnb stay as well as for anything else that I might need money for. So that is what I'm going to be adding for adventures today. Next, I have my allowance, which this is an allowance sinking fund where I transfer all of my remaining allowance cash envelope money at the end of the month. So I'm going to be leaving these blank. If you guys want to see a little bit more as to how I go about my allowance sinking fund, make sure you stay tuned for my February budget results video. It's typically where I close out everything and you guys kind of get to see everything on a step-by-step process. Then next I have Amazon Prime. And if you guys have not realized by now, I like to have everything in alphabetical order. It just makes me happy. I am beginning with $40 for my Amazon Prime subscription because I do pay for this annually. So it just makes sense to have it as a sinking fund. I have been doing $20 a month, so $20 will be going in there this month as well. Then I have my car maintenance fund, which got used last month. So I'm very happy that I had this fund and that I didn't have to have it on budgeted expense. But for the month of March, I am beginning with $125. and I will just be adding $20 this month. Once again, I'm trying to focus on other sinking funds like my adventures this month, which is why I'm only adding $20 for car maintenance, which is completely fine since I just got a new battery. Then I have my car payment, and most of my sinking funds are in cash, so I do have cash envelopes for them, with the exception of 3. So one of them would be this car payment fund. This is actually an emergency car payment fund that I keep in my Ally online banking account, just because I don't necessarily need it anytime soon. It is just there for emergencies. So in here I have $373, and I don't typically add anything for this because that amount is enough to cover a month worth of car payment. Next up, another sinking fund that I know a lot of people have is one for car tags, so for the registration. This I pay every December, and so far I have $50, and I'm going to be adding $24 this month for this. Then after car tags, I have my Christmas sinking fund. And this is another one of those funds that I have in my Ally online banking account, just because of course I'm not going to be needing it up until December. And typically I do stuff more than $100 in this, so it just makes sense to have it in my online banking account. So for this, I am beginning with $266 with 50 cents. And I always add $125, or I've been adding since the beginning of the year to this. Then I have clothing, which got a lot of views last month. I've been really into thrifting and buying things online, so I am starting with $0 in there, but I typically like to add $75 a month, which is a really great number for me, if we're being honest. Then I do have a sinking fund for my Costco membership, which I paid for that in the beginning of the month. And so far I have $10, and I just add $5 a month in here. Then next up is my date night fund, which I am beginning with $37, and I will be adding $50 for the month. Since my shop pays me once a month, it just makes sense for me to stuff all of these in the beginning of the month instead of stuffing them multiple times a month. Another sinking fund that I have that has saved my butt is my electricity sinking fund, just because I get billed for electricity every other month. So far I have $343, and this bill is due this month, but I've noticed that I've been getting charged less and less. So I'm only going to be stuffing this with $100, and then I'll go ahead and see how much we get billed for that this month. It's only $25 less than I typically stuff for this, but I just want to make sure that I have all of my bases covered with this bill. Then I have entertainment for any fun activities. I know last month I just paid for like a virtual concert ticket, which is so funny, but that's kind of what I used that for. Aside from that, I haven't been using this too much, so I haven't been stuffing it much at all. So I am beginning with $65, and I will just be stuffing this with $25. I'm thinking that since I'm going to be going to San Diego, that I might be doing something fun, so I could also use that fund for that. Next I have gifts, which I do have quite a few birthdays this month actually. So I am beginning with $143, and for that reason I'm going to be adding $100. I'm thinking that in the next couple of months, since I have more birthdays coming up, I might end up bumping this up to like $125 to $150. It honestly depends on how much I spend this month. In the next couple of months, I have my dad's, my mom's, my sister, my brother-in-law's birthday. I have a couple of cousins' birthday as well, and my grandma's this month. So there's a lot of birthdays coming up. Then moving on to my next sinking. Then after medical, I have my miscellaneous sinking fund. And in here I have $54, and I'm going to be adding 30 for the month. And then last but not least, I have my Peru trip, which is another one of those funds that I have in my Ally online banking account, just because I have been saving this money since like last year, and I have still not been able to go to Peru, of course, with the circumstances. So I don't stuff anything for this, but so far I do have $1,200 in that fund. So now that I have all of my sinking funds here, I'm going to go ahead and just lay down my totals header, which is not going to get filled right now because I am missing my allowance numbers. But once I have those, I'll be able to add everything up. And next, before I move on to stuffing my envelopes, I'm going to set up the rest of the spread. So going in once again with my Lucky Charms washi, I'm going to take my transaction log. So let's just go ahead and lay this down right there. And this is going to be a transaction log only for my sinking funds. So any spending that comes out of my cash envelopes, the ones that I weekly check in for, I will go ahead and have in my monthly view. But if it's spending or transactions from my actual sinking funds, those will go in this transaction log. I like to keep those separated just because I consider sinking funds savings. So once I go ahead and stuff these small savings, they're basically out of sight and out of mind. But now that I have both of these set up, I'm going to go ahead and make lines and then come back with my cash to get our cash envelope stuffing started. All right, so I made my lines for these, and now let me go ahead and grab my cash. I am going to go through all of my envelopes and count how much money I have in them. So I have all of my cash here, and I'm going to, I guess, kind of organize all these. So we have hundreds, 50s, 20s. I believe I'm going to be stuffing a total of $674 today. Well, physically stuffing. In total, I believe I put $799. So that would be the 125 that I'm not going to physically be stuffing today. Okay, so I have hundreds, 50s, 20s, 10s, 5 and 1s. And I'm all ready to go. Okay, so let's get straight into it. So first we have adventures, and for that, I think I'm just off the bat going to do 200. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 50, 5, 56, and 57. So 457 for adventures. Then allowance is going to stay. Amazon Prime will be getting $20. And so far I have 40, so now I have 60 in here. Next I have card maintenance, which will only be getting $20 this time around. And now I have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 130, 140, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 145 in here. Which, yes, it matches up. So that is my card maintenance sinking fund. Then for card tags, I'm going to be adding 24, which I believe is, yeah, all of this. So now I have 20, 40, 60, 70, 1, 2, 3, and 4. $74 for car tags. Right there. Then for clothing, so empty right now. This will be getting 75. So 50, 70, and 5 for clothing. There. Let me just arrange those. Okay. Next up, we have my Costco membership, which will be getting $5 in here. And so far I have 15. Right there. Then for date night, I'm going to be doing 50. So can I do 2? So let's just do a 50 here. Now I have 50, 70, 85, 86, and 87. Which is a pretty good amount to have. So that's for date night. Then electricity is going to be getting $100. I'm really interested to see how much we'll be getting billed for this month. But so far I have 1, 2, 350, 420, 5, 30, 5, 40, 1, 2, 3. So 443 in here. I might stop stuffing this one, if we're being honest here. And for entertainment, I'm going to be stuffing this with $25. Right there. And so far, I have, let's see. I have 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 5, and $90. In here. And gifts is going to be getting 100. So let's just do 2 20s and a 10. We're almost out of money here. Okay, so let's see, it's 50, 70, 90, and 100. And so far I have, let's see, whoops. Okay, let's see how much we have. I have 50, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 220, 30, 40, 1, 2, and 3. So 243 for gifts. And then we have 2 more. Medical is going to get $25. And so far I have, okay, so I have 50, 100, 150, 220, 40, 65, 70, and 75. So 275 for medical. And then last but not least, I have my miscellaneous sinking fund, which will be getting the leftover money here, which is just $30. And in here I have, let's see, 54. So now I have 50, 70, 80, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So $84. And with that being said, that is going to be it for this cash envelope stuffing video. Let me just close this. But thank you guys so much for coming along as I set up my sinking fund spread, as well as I stuff my sinking funds cash envelopes. As you guys can see, they're very chunky as of now, which is perfect because there are, like I said, a bunch of things coming up that I'm very excited to partake in. So as always, please do not forget to give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, as well as subscribe to my channel if you guys are not subscribed already. And hopefully I will get to see you guys for tomorrow's video, which will be a cash envelope stuffing one. Bye guys.